Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM. This show is partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture and Grandpa Mayor is here.
Grandpa Mayor, GMTM.
Oh, GMTM.
GMTM, man.
I am so excited.
I am so excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
Add another title to your LinkedIn page.
Man, I love it.
Mayor, husband, father, grandfather. Big day.
Big day, big weekend.
Everybody's doing well, right?
Showed up Thursday afternoon. Yes, Mama and baby and Daddy are all doing well. It was a kind of a revolving door through the weekend once they got home from the hospital Saturday because they're staying with us. But of course, you know, his family's from Hillsdale, and so they were coming in intermittently. And, and of course, as large as my family is, they were chomping at the bit to come by. So that was yesterday, you know, some of them. But yeah, they're doing well. And love it that he's not sleeping through the night yet. Because my daughter and son-in-law get up in the morning like, hey, I go like, he's nocturnal. Yep.
They don't know. They don't understand the concept of time.
No. And of course, you know, right now, because he's being held so much, it's like, hey, wait a second. Nobody's paying attention to me right now. It's somebody, hey, here, I'm over here.
Yeah.
I love it.
God, it is. I remember when we had our kids and the ability that you don't realize you have about operating on such little sleep,
right,
makes you feel like the biggest bum when you go back to 8 hours. You're like, I don't need 8 hours. Do you realize all I've done on 4 in like the last 6 months, you know, or something like that? But well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Grandpa Mayor.
Roman Alexander.
Ooh, yes. What a name.
What a name. I know, right?
That kid is destined for greatness with that name. Man.
Yep, they've already decided they're going to dress him as a little Roman centurion for Halloween. So
As
they're
you
gonna
would.
get that plan. Because my daughter actually, and I don't know that if you'd be able to see that on one of my daughter's friends did the.
We might need to zoom in for this.
It's hilarious, and I don't know if you.
That is
see
amazing.
that.
Is
Yeah,
that a little ChatGPT action?
A little chat TBT, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Too funny. So
What
yeah, a
world
little
we live
Roman.
in. Well, congratulations. Happy everybody's doing well.
Thank you. Yes.
Such a cool thing. All right.
Thank you.
Well, let's kick off your summer this June with huge savings at Robert Miller & Son. Maybe you can buy like a crib or a rocker there. Take 25% off store-wide, plus enjoy an extra 5% off when you pay with cash. And to celebrate American craftsmanship, take an additional 5% off all furniture made in the USA. Whether that's upgrading your living room or your patio, now is the perfect time to refresh your home with quality American crafted furniture. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you find just what you need this summer. Visit our Kokomo showroom today. These summer savings won't last long.
Right off 931.
25% off. Yeah, in the Kokomo Town Center. Go check them out. Robert Miller & Son, the longtime partner of this show, so we are deeply appreciative. I mean, what's going on at City Hall? I mean, are you even there? Are you just like holding a baby all the time?
There. No, I mean, that's what my wife's going to accuse me of. And but no, coming down off of a great strawberry festival, kudos to the committee that put it all together and the hundreds of volunteers, whether you were with the strawberry committee and their team themselves, or if you were helping out one of the hundreds of vendors, whether food, beverage, knickknacks. Just thanks to everybody for being down there. It was cool. WXIN, Fox 59 has started a hometown series, and they did their third hometown feature, if you will, in Kokomo at the Strawberry Festival. So folks were seeing clips of footage, in live interviews as the day went on. I mean, started shortly after 8 o'clock, I think, with Angela Ganote and I forget the other gentleman's name. That's probably drawing a blank. But then finished in the evening around dinner time. And so it was cool to see Kokomo featured and so many individuals kind of boasting about what they did and about what Kokomo means to them and what Kokomo does for everybody. And so very cool event. Over the Top had the first summer concert series Saturday night. The Blues Brothers were in town, Blooze. And really great time. The rain held off for everybody Saturday night, so that was cool. And now we're just rolling into the week. got to share the asphalt plant with NDOT, and so our street department's got some challenges on trying to get some things paved, whether it's streets or alleyways, but still knocking that out in areas because I get it. I mean, the streets need attention, and so we're trying to get to those. But starting today as well, those that might have seen the post on the city's Facebook page as well, starting today through the end of the month, we're making one pass only through the city to pick up limbs, vegetation, and such. And so we're telling folks, clean up your properties, what you need to, get things out of the way, get it out to the curbs, and we're going to make a single pass through like we do 2, sometimes 3 times in the fall to pick that stuff up. So get it cleaned up, get it out. Now, obviously, barring some major weather event later on, we'd clean up areas and such, but just wanted to give folks the chance to do that. So we're working that in with our paving since some of that's weather permitted. So got that going on as well. Had a the final beam signing ceremony this morning.
I saw that. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So the final beam that will be placed in the lower level of the convention center. There was a handful of those that were involved with or the project was close to. Got to sign that final beam, and that'll be placed once the steel portion is completed. And so that was fun. And just plugging away, man.
Well, tell me, there was a story with a little girl at that beam signing as well today too. So tell us that story.
So Sydney Black is her name, and her 10th birthday's at the end of the week, and so and her folks were excited that this was kicking off her birthday week. But no, they live on Main Street, and Sydney, Ms. Black is infatuated with this project, and she wants to get into construction, and she's really excited that the project was going on, and her mom walks her down often, and they take pictures with it, just to see the progress and everything. And her mom is friends with my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law was talking about it. She goes, "Oh, Sydney's all excited." I'm like, "Sydney?" She goes, "Yeah." And she was telling me all about how she walks down, she's taking pictures, she just loves this thing. And I'm like, well, who better? I mean, so many people are excited about this project, but I haven't heard anybody be as excited as little Miss Sydney Black. And so I told my sister-in-law, I said, tell her mom that if she's not doing anything, Monday morning at 9 o'clock, have her at City Hall about 1:45, and she can walk over with us, and she can assign this beam, man, so she can be part of it. And so
her mind was probably blown.
The Hagerman crew is like, hey, get a picture of this. I mean, that would be great that if she gets into construction, that we can get her on as an intern and start doing things. I mean, just kind of a full circle thing. So very cool. I was glad to have little Sydney there to be immortalized in this project that she's really gotten excited about.
I love that.
Fun
Very
stuff.
cool.
Yep.
Very cool. So hotel and conference center is still moving along. We're moving up. I see. That's
at or ahead of schedule. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. What is the end of timeline on that estimation?
June of next year.
So around a year. We're 12 months away.
So I think once they have a little better idea or more confident that June is the final, that they will, I believe, shooting for July 1st to formally start booking conventions and meetings and the space and of that convention center. Also, rooms that could be included with that starting July 1st. So that gives a year because a lot of organizations, when they plan conventions and outings and such, or even weddings, if somebody wants to use that center for a wedding reception as well, are always planning at least a year in advance. And so that's what I believe they're shooting for. And kudos to Sherry Matlock and her team at the Convention Visitors Bureau that has worked with Lori Dukes, the executive director for the Alliance, to keep tight tabs on the project and its timeline and such, and working closely not only with Hagerman and their group, but SSG, the hotel owner, and their group, the development department of the city as well. I mean, it's just been a great communication, great project, and like I said, it's a little ahead of schedule.
I love it, along. Which is not common with construction, so that's great. Yeah. Tony Hedrick in the chat says, congratulations, Mayor. If you guys are just tuning in, that we have Grandpa Mayor Grandpa Mayor Tyler Moore is officially a grandpa. So if you want to drop him congratulations in the chat, that would be great. I'll call you out throughout the show. Very cool. So that's what's going on at City Hall. Summer in Kokomo is in full swing.
You bet.
We were at Kokomo Beach on Saturday night.
Saw that,
because, Summerfest had their kickoff event, which was the Tropicool Vibes pool party over at Kokomo Beach. And it was, it was a little overcast, but like it was actually a great night to be at Kokomo Beach.
To be outside.
It wasn't like super hot, but it was still warm enough to be swimming. The kids loved it. It was a really cool event. They had a great DJ out there. And then I ended up just walking over to Foster Park to see the concert. And oh my gosh, if you guys were following around the Kokomo Post story that night, I had one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, and it was caught on camera, and I posted it. So the Blues Brothers band, they had like a car, which was on like that far sidewalk, and they drove it up to the stage when the concert was starting. So when I walked there, they were still waiting for their cue to drive up. So I didn't know really anything about the car. I thought, like, oh, it's a prop. They must have just parked it back here. So I'm like walking up near the car. I just pull out my phone and I start filming for a story on the Kokomo Post, like to show like, oh, look how cool this car is. Like, and I look inside and it looks like there's like these props of like dummies dressed in Blues Brothers clothing. I'm like, oh, how cool is that? And then one of the props moves. It was the actual band, and it scared the living crap out of me. And then I'm like, oh gosh, sorry, you're real. They're like, yeah, really real. And we're about to go on stage in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, sorry. But like literally it was just all caught on camera. Hilarious. And I helped my thumb stayed on the record button the whole time. And like, it was up on a story. And then the next story is those people on the stage, like singing. But it was so embarrassing because I literally thought they looked like wax figures. Like they were just so still, like waiting on their cue. So funny. And like the fact that it was all caught on camera cracks me up.
Perfect.
But yeah, the music was great. The crowd was great down there. They were loving it. That band was like super interactive. So they were like in and out of the crowd the whole time. And one of the people in the horn section was from Kokomo. So he got a shout out.
Nice.
And if you guys don't know the original Blues Brothers movies, there's actually a scene in Kokomo that takes place Bob's Country Bunker, right?
Country Bunker.
Yeah, and they made it in the movie, like they freak out because they're not playing country music, so they're like chucking their like beer bottles at them on the stage. So they made a joke about like, please keep your beer bottles with you tonight.
No chicken wire up.
No, there's no chicken wire. It was great. It was a great concert. Great way to like just kick off summer for me in Kokomo was being at Kokomo Beach for that event, seeing people enjoy that, and then go over to the park to listen to live music, and it was great. It was a really fun night. So
awesome, great weekend.
I just kept saying it that night, you guys, as Bree has famously said, now if you're bored in Kokomo this summer, it's 100% on you because there's just always something going on that you can experience and should be great. Okay.
Yep.
Let's get into the questions that you guys have submitted. Got quite a few pre-show questions. I see Susan Wyrick also says, congrats. What a feeling for being a grandpa. So like I said, if you guys are just tuning in, we got Grandpa Mayor. Tyler MTM is officially a grandpa, dropping some congratulations in the chat. Awesome. Or if you have a question for the mayor, drop that in the chat too, and we'll get to it. So let's get to today's questions. The first one is from James Frazier on Instagram. Okay. Why not talk about taxes? Personal property taxes. My house is taxed over $50,000 more than a good appraisal. Can't they get it straight and tax on actual instead of inflated appraisals? Well, first off, this is not city. Right? Word property taxes. This would be a county issue, but like
personal property taxes. I know it's someone's personal property, personal residence, but we actually receive tax revenue from personal property taxes, and personal property in corporations is the equipment, and so that's one of our biggest concerns that came out of the recent legislation was that they're kind of reducing the amount. I mean, raising the level of which that equipment needs to be taxed, which is concerning, and then possibly the chance of eliminating that altogether, which then just dumps it back on folks' property taxes, regular property taxes. So it sounds like he's talking about his personal residence or that property tax, and again, those amounts that the county assessor and the Center Township assessors base those on are assessments and valuations on market sales. And so actually they're not appraisals. They don't go out and have appraisals done that folks typically would when they're refinancing or buying a home or something. So they don't use those same valuations. It's actually assessments based on the market activity. And so as folks want to sell homes, and because the inventory's been low, which raises the sales price that folks are receiving on sales, then the sales prices go up, and because those sales prices inflate, then those assessments are based on that. So actually, folks' property taxes are going up primarily because the sales price of properties are going up, and so it's kind of an unfortunate catch-22. I mean, if you're selling your property or if you're refinancing or something, you want it appraised and kind of assessed at a higher level, especially in the case that you're selling it. But then if you want it taxed, you want it lower. I mean, so folks want it valued lower if you're assessing taxes, but they want it valued higher if you're selling it or needing to get the most value out of it for financing purposes. So it's an unfortunate and uneven balance.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Next question is from Mike on Facebook. Sure. Similar about property taxes, which once again, that is a county, not a problem, but a county responsibility.
Assessment wise, I know we set our budgets, which then goes to the state and they help set the tax rate, but go ahead.
Gotcha. Mike wants to know, when property values inevitably fall, will our property tax assessments fall as quickly as they've risen? If property values fall or decrease, if sales prices start going down or start leveling out, yes, there would be the possibility of having property valuations go down. And I know that did occur back in 2008, 2009, when the country was headed towards recession. That if property valuations, do see a dip, then folks' property taxes would see an additional dip. Now, one of the items that came out of the recent legislation, the Senate Bill 1, which I think ended up being the Senate enacted Act 1 or SCA 1, was that folks are getting up to $300 or a 1% or up to $300 tax refund or tax credit towards their property taxes. And so everybody will get anywhere between $300 or, again, 1% of your property tax amount returned in the case of relief. Sure.
So
okay. Mason on Facebook, he's being a goofy guy with this question, just so we're clear on this. How long until we get more speed bumps on 931? I'm loving the 15 I get to drive over every day. I was hoping we could maybe triple it.
Oh,
Mason's being a goofy guy.
The only way they'll do that is if NDOT decides to then do improvements from around Markland Avenue north. But right now, they're not adding any more speed bumps along 931. In fact, they're removing them by milling over that and paving. I think they've got at least 2, if not 3, full lanes paved from Markland down south of 26, and before long they'll have all 4, the 2 northbound and 2 southbound lanes paved. So Mason, sorry, they're actually doing away with those speed bumps.
Oh man, he's gonna be sad.
So yeah, sorry.
He likes those. All right, next question is from Tony on Facebook. Before any more roundabouts are built, what about tutorials or PSAs on how to navigate roundabouts via KGov2 or on YouTube? Thanks.
Yeah, and you like to think that people would see the signage. It's you've got arrows on the ground and even some signs as you approach them, but we get that a lot. A lot of people are frustrated that they don't quite know how to drive. So yeah, we could probably find a graphic or some type of small tutorial to throw on the city's Facebook page and maybe put on the city's website for assistance as well. But in the meantime, just be patient, because there's young drivers that aren't used to it. There's older drivers. There's inexperienced drivers that get confused when they see that and don't know whether to yield or think they're coming to an intersection and think that maybe they need to turn left and go. So just be patient, because not everybody can navigate those or has the experience that others do. So we just ask you to be patient with them.
Gotcha. Next question is from Derek Brading on Facebook. When is Boulevard from 931 to 31 going to be paved? It is atrocious.
It is atrocious.
It says.
I'm trying to think if that's one that we had. I mean, but that's a long stretch, so it may be in the hopper. I mean, it's not this year. We'll still be patching along there, but yeah, I mean that's getting atrocious as well, and so we know that that is. But I mean, we could probably have every one of our viewers or those that have thrown in comments or questions to say, hey, give us your top three streets that you feel need attention, and not be able to get to all of those because everything's got a little bit of an issue, and some have more issues than others, and some of that's because of traffic. But long answer short, it's not this year, but hopefully it's in the hopper here in the next year or two.
Okay, gotcha. And then also I want to make sure Susie Reynolds says congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Suze.
In the live chat too. Next question is from Byron on Facebook. Our friend, the Orange Barrel, has been standing on the street corner going on 2 years at Berkeley and Osage. Osage. I assume for the sunken sidewalk. Any idea when that's going to be getting fixed? They made friends with the Orange Barrel.
Yeah, I mean, it's become a fixture, and they are around, and a lot of that has to do, I mean, if it's either the sidewalk itself, and if it is because of a sunken sidewalk, there's probably more that needs to be done on the underbelly of that, on the base, as opposed to just replacing. A lot of those are in areas where the catch basins, or the, I guess, storm sewer grates, as a lot of people know them as, are falling in or have issues as well, and so it's just a matter of finding the time for our concrete crews and with the wastewater treatment plant to get to them. So you said Berkeley and Osage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll
Berkeley
make a note
and
and find out.
Next question, and this is the name of the, I guess, page or person. Roadkill the Clown.
Roadkill the Clown
on Facebook wants to know, when are they starting construction on the roundabout at Washington and Markland?
I don't think that one's been planned out or designed yet.
I tell you what, though, and I might get hate for this. I'm not against it.
Bad.
I'm not against it.
That wouldn't be bad.
I'm a roundabout fan, so I know
it's a large enough. I mean, it's high traffic.
Yep.
There's a lot of space at that intersection, especially because it's offset. That could be a place for one, but there's not one being planned at this time, Mr. Roadkill. But I appreciate the idea and the thought, and keep making Kokomo laugh.
Yeah, that's what he's probably doing.
He is. Have you ever seen any of his videos?
I know. I don't know who this person is. Wait, have you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I've been by his house.
Interesting. I'll have to maybe look him up. Janet on Facebook wants to know, could you please address South Lead Street, where there is a lot of foot traffic coming and going to the park? There are no sidewalks, bike trails at times, and lots of traffic when there is a concert or doings in the park. I believe it's dangerous street with that much traffic and no sidewalks or bikeway. You should drive down South Lead Street to the park at night and see what I'm talking about. I think it's worth taking a look. Thank you. Janet on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, we can certainly have engineering look at that, a lot of that too. And we've talked about it before, with the deal with sidewalks, instead of only doing sections, or if there's not already a dedicated right of way, it's getting enough owners along any stretch on either side to grant that easement to allow that to be done. I'm assuming the south leads through there probably isn't a wide enough street to paint or put a dedicated bike path, but we can certainly look at that if the space or the size of the street would allow that or warrant it. But south lead leading to the park, I'll have engineering look into it. See what can be done.
Next question is from Josh on Facebook. When are they going to make Markland 2 lanes again between Washington and Apperson?
Between Washington and Apperson,
I'm guessing is on Markland,
because it's 3 lanes. I mean, because it's kind of 2 laans with a dedicated turn lane in the middle.
2 lanes on each side.
Oh, got it. Open it back up. Not anytime soon, because again, with kind of the same way with, it was, remove the bump outs, remove, correct this, whatever. I mean, with the amount of money that it takes to doing an improvement like that, I mean, to open it back up would cost just as much. And because there are streets like Boulevard between 931 and 31 and, even through neighborhoods like Wickersham, I was just on that one. I mean, and so many others, pulling money aside or out of the bucket for repavings or additions there on things that probably don't fit into a lot of folks' plans. I mean, it's a delicate balance. I mean, I get that there's some that would justify that, and a lot of people think that it would. Let's get add another lane back to Markland and make that 4 lanes both ways, just like it is from Apperson as we continued east. But it's a lot of money to put towards that. So probably not going to do that one anytime soon unless there's serious traffic issues that would warrant looking into it and doing that. But it does get busy, and especially if there's other roads and streets closed. I know when Jefferson was closed, I think a lot of people were running down through there, and and if Markland's got or if Dixon's got issues or any of the others, that's one of the main drags. And even if it's on the weekend, I mean, we've got Championship Park in full swing, and there's games from Thursday through Sunday. And if folks are, milling up and down Markland or working their way downtown and such, there's going to be extra traffic. So
making my way downtown, walking fast, paces fast, and I'm homebound. The next question is from Mike on Instagram. What exactly constitutes a motorized vehicle on the trails?
A motorized vehicle on the trail is...
I will say I saw a gang of like e-bikes on the trail.
Yeah, so e-bike. So there's different classifications for e-bikes, and I think as long as the e-bikes don't go over, I think 15 or 20 miles per hour, they're permitted. Now there are some that obviously can go faster, and so if they're being reckless, folks can report that. 4-wheelers, no. Golf carts, no. Now electric scooters are permitted as long as they again don't exceed high rates of speed. Unfortunately, even though those electric vehicles or motorized vehicles that are permitted, if people are being reckless on, probably have no business being on it, even though it's permitted. But primarily electric, usually not anything with a gas motor, because those go at higher rates of speed. So electric bikes, electric scooters, that stay about 15 miles per hour or less. Anything else, especially with more than 2 wheels, not allowed.
Got it. Okay. Next question is from Eric on Facebook. Has a decision been made about the next baseball team to replace the Jackrabbits? Which there was actually a Kokomo Tribune article this morning. Have not had a chance to fully look into it, but I think there have been 4 people that have submitted applications, correct?
Yes, we received 4 bid packets. Now at the Board of Works meeting, it was announced, I think, that they opened 5 packages, but what had happened there, one of the applicants had submitted an initial one and then realized that they had left out some information, so sent a second one separate. And so since they were all closed when they were received, as they were opening them, they opened 5 packages, but one was actually for one with additional information. So no, a decision has not been made. A selection committee was put together and reviewed the bid packets, had an initial meeting, and so now, ironically, we've got Zoom interviews with each of the 4 applicants tomorrow morning, and then that'll be concluded by noon tomorrow, and then the committee will kind of take that under advisement, get back together, and hopefully have a decision here in the next week or 2.
Gotcha. Kristen on Facebook.
Yes.
Real simple. And this is just,
I love it.
This town is never satisfied.
Oh.
We wanted a Chick-fil-A for a long time. No, we're not.
Okay.
We always want more. We wanted a Chick-fil-A for the longest time.
Yes.
We're getting Chick-fil-A. Kristen wants to know, hey, why don't we have a Buc-ee's?
Space. Well, like they say in real estate, location.
Sure.
Because some of the development along 31 that they may be interested in, and there may be others that other gas/convenience/ mega store type of organizations, have been sniffing around, the Kokomo area, but because there's not infrastructure, out to those interchanges, because of our current ordinance that prohibits gas station convenience stores to be located within a mile of another one, just because we were getting saturated. And an interesting thing about that, but I'll answer the question first. Why there isn't, that would be for the Buc-ee's organization, because there could be a way for them to locate a little further away from an existing gas station and still do it, but they want to be as close. Any development would rather be closer to the 31 or 931 area, and with that being saturated. But getting back to that, because there's another one that's kind of interested that wants to talk about the possibility, but our acting city engineer did a study of the amount of gas station convenience stores in Kokomo versus the amount of gas station convenience stores in Carmel, Westfield, Fishers, and Noblesville. And I think those four cities in the donut communities combined have just about as many as we do just in Kokomo and Howard County. Isn't that crazy?
We have a lot of gas stations.
We have a lot of gas station convenience stores. And,
wow.
And I was like, whoa, wait. And he goes, I know. I have no idea. I just, was out of curiosity, knowing that they were, just to see, to help justify why we passed the ordinance that we did. It was just for some reason, those, and then the way that small box discount stores were starting to pop up, that was preventing larger grocers, from considering, our area as well. There's a little bit of method to our madness.
Well, at the end of the day, it's probably just like, it's all jazz hands and zoning permits. You got to put on a little show. You got to do some zoning permits and make stuff happen. But they got to be interested first, But like, at the end of the day, it's just some jazz hands and fill out some permits.
And sometimes, if planning commission meetings get excited, you do see some of them get.
Making my way downtown. Next question is from Courtney on Facebook. Is there an opening date for the new splash pad? Will new bikes be added to Kokomo, like tandem/party bikes? Ooh, party bikes.
Ooh, party bikes.
Come with lights. This would be fun for families with multiple kids. What's a party bike?
What's a party bike?
It's like a party bus for a bike.
Or I wonder if it's like those, like the pedal bars. That you sit in and you pedal and you go around. We've had a few people kind of ask about that or kind of toss around that idea, but Kokomo really isn't that large of a community, I think, to warrant bringing those in. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what party bikes are. Opening date for the splash pad down at Jackson Memorial Park, not yet. We're still waiting for Indian American Water to get off a current project and get down, which, again, weather permitting, I think should be yet this week. So hopefully, knock it again, that it can be completed and open by 4th of July weekend, maybe by Haynes-Apperson weekend or sometime in July. But again, weather permitting and everything else that comes into play with that. But as for additional bikes, sure, we probably need to take a look at maybe adding some new ones. We've tossed around the idea of possibly some of the lower grade acceptable or permissible electric bikes even. I know she mentioned tandems, if there's been a request for that. But yeah, we probably need to, it's about time to look at the inventory of that and see what we need to do and what we have space to work in and store.
Well, after a quick Google search, party bikes are those like big pedal bikes with multiple. That's what the internet is saying those are. That could be fun.
That could be fun.
Okay. Next question is from Bruce. Actually, hold on. The next statement is from Bruce Rogers on Facebook. And all Bruce wanted to say, and he said it with his chest.
Do it, man.
Project Pothole. Bruce wants to say.
Project Pothole. we're probably not going to create or install any potholes. I mean, so we don't have to worry about that. We're actually, trying to fill those in.
Well, what's his face probably would like
popping them up.
The guy who liked the speed bumps on 931 too. Yeah.
That's true.
Mason was probably into that.
So, Project Pothole, yes, I mean that is ongoing as just about any project that we've got. It's nonstop. Usually, it's just wintertime when things thaw and stuff. But yeah, they continue to rear their ugly head as trucks work on things and mill up and down, and so yes. We're on it. It's ongoing.
Gotcha. Michelle on Facebook. If all the state and national programs are pushing more towards private school versus public school, how is the city going to be able to take advantage of that? Has anyone showed interest in opening a private high school in Kokomo? Michelle on Facebook.
I guess I hadn't heard of much of a push towards private. Now I know, a lot of the debate down at the State House, was allowing, some of the state funding for schools to go towards private schools versus public, which is an argument that a lot of folks in the public school corporations, have. But, how the city, there's been one small private organization that has expressed interest in possibly bringing a charter high school or charter school to Kokomo or the area, but we've not entertained any additional conversations with them or heard back from that. I mean, that they had been in and kind of given their little spiel maybe a year or so ago, but nothing's really materialized of that. But I think with the existence of 5 outstanding high schools in the Howard County area, not just in Kokomo, I don't know that another private charter type of school would be able to compete with them. But I guess we'll cross that bridge if we get to it, if it decides to come to town, and continue to do what we can to support every child's education, here in Kokomo and Howard County. But no plans that I'm aware of yet.
Gotcha. Roadkill the Clown. Never mind. That was the same question. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And then
I was like, he's got a follow-up. This ought to be good.
Susan on live chat, it says, a good way to recoup some of the property taxes is to tax booze more locally. Just about everyone drinks, she says.
That'd be good. Yeah, I don't know if there's a local tax that's permissible on alcohol. That's usually a state sales tax on alcohol, but we can look into that. I mean, there are going to be options given to locals. I mean, really, there already are. There's, I know the county has a wheel tax. I mean, there's I don't think that we as the city are going to adopt that because there's already one in place with the county that we get a small cut from. There's been talk about a food and beverage tax because of the amount of people that, again, like I mentioned, coming in, every weekend from Championship Park or that are passing through on their way to or from Indianapolis. Or even come from other communities that come to Kokomo to entertain. Looking at that, I mean, we had discussed and tried looking at a trash fee last fall, and that failed to pass the city council. But again, knowing that. That there's going to be these tax relief efforts and the reduction on personal property tax from corporations that will miss out on. I mean, there's that. The state legislature, has also said, okay, the locals need to look at their local income tax. I mean, so, they're encouraging municipalities to, consider hitting the maximum cap on what they collect income tax wise, and that's great and all, but the income tax follows the person, not the job. I mean, so income tax, those that work at any of the plants or in any business that don't live in Kokomo or Howard County, take that income tax back to where they reside. I mean, so good and bad. I mean, because there's obviously Kokomo and Howard County residents that work in other communities and would do the same, but there's options that a lot of the locals in municipalities and local governments and across the state are going to have to look at and try to decide to see how best to fill the void that is going to be created with tax relief efforts.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, those are the questions we had today.
Okay.
Thanks for those live questions. Thank you for the grandpa congratulation statements.
Yes, thank you all.
Live chat
Appreciate
today.
it. Really excited.
And if you have any questions for next week's show, maybe you're watching this replay, leave it in the chat below of this episode, or we always post something on Monday where you can leave questions, or you can always email Bree, BREE at thekokomopost.com, and she'll get those questions over to me as well. Thanks again to Robert Miller & Son for being the partner for this show.
Absolutely.
And do you have a dad joke for us today? A grandpa joke?
Oh, I should have prepped better.
Well, you're not sleeping well,
joke.
you know. You just you gotta.
Still, but not. I mean, it was just was going to kind of use the gem that I got from my attorney friends. You know, found out that they all appear to wear the same thing when they go to appear in court.
Well, I imagine there's a suit, you know, or suit and
it's a
tie.
lawsuit.
Because they practice law.
They do. They do that too.
In a suit. And sometimes they create lawsuits.
Or wear them.
But they're not a tailor. Thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. Like I said, if you have any questions for next week, leave it down in the chat below, or get a hold of us however you want to, because it's pretty easy to get a hold of us. Thanks for watching Kokomo. We'll see you next time.
See you, Kokomo.